Imagine being 22, just graduated from college, got your first job, excited about your future, and boom, child support papers. But wait, you didn't know you had a child. But wait, it appears this child would have been born when you were 14 years old. That's the story of Nick Olivis from Phoenix, Arizona. He was a lonely, awkward teenager who met a 20-year-old woman who took advantage of him. Eventually, they went their separate ways, and he forgot all about her until that day. But the thing is, he didn't believe it. He didn't think it was right. He was scared. He avoided that notice. He ignored it as if it didn't happen. But the course caught up with him and reality set in. This was his child, and it was to that woman that took advantage of him. But she waited just long enough that with Arizona's short statutory laws, it was out of the statute of limitations. And there was nothing he could do to the woman that took advantage of him when he was just 14 years old. She suffered zero consequences. By the time they went through the child support process, they didn't just assess him just regular child support. They assessed poor Nick back child support to the day that child was born, plus 10% medical fees. So he owed $15,000. And then they made his monthly amount $380 on top of that. So not only is Nick being held liable for the crime against him and having to pay this, but they assessed money that he owed from the age of 14 when he wasn't even able to legally work. This is a horrific double standard. A young girl would never be forced to be tied to her abuser. She would never be forced to pay him every single month. But it's a boy, so we just look the other way. We prosecute him and penalize him for having a crime committed against him when he was just 14 years old. And until this changes, women will continue to be the privileged class in the United States.
This is insane. So this lady took advantage of this boy when he's 14 years old, got pregnant by him, waited till he came of age, then took him to court for child support because nobody could do anything because of the time frame. And now this little boy has to pay back child support and child support going forward to a sexual predator, a pedophile, or whatever you want to call her. And nobody bats an eye at this. Nobody has an issue with this. This is just what it is. When they say men got it bad, we got it bad. Because like she said, there is no way they will tie a woman to her abuser. No way. He is now tied to the lady who took advantage of him. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like a 14-year-old boy probably didn't enjoy that, but he was 14. He didn't know what he was doing, and she took advantage of him. And now he has to deal with her for the rest of his life. Something has to change. It cannot always be the man's fault. We can't always be at blame for stuff. That lady should be thrown in jail. That child should be put into foster care, or if the father want to take care of him, the father can take care of him, or if she has other family members, they can take him, but she needs to go to jail. But instead of going to jail, she gets a $15,000 check and child support every month going forward. This is insane. Let me say this. J-Lo is 50 plus years old and she's still looking good, but she's about as nutty as the rest of these women. Y'all check this out.
Do you think you've truly been loved?
No.
No. And do you think you really have experienced loving someone?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
And when you can't get that love back?
What I learned, it's not that I'm not lovable, it's that they're not capable.
They can't love.
They don't have it in them. They need to appreciate the little person inside of them.
They
need to love
give.
them. Yeah.
You've been in a relationship with
And they gave me what they had.
Right, but
they
it's not
gave me
enough.
all of it. Every time.
But it's this much. It's
All
a
the
little bit.
rings, all the things I could ever want.
Right.
They tried to give me the houses, the rings, the marriage, all of it. But
They didn't love you.
they didn't,
And didn't know you.
and I didn't love myself.
Right. It's tough. This is some journey, right?
It is.
Now let me get this right. Jennifer Lopez has been married to 4 different men, 3 actors and then 1 backup dancer. She even had a nice little stint with Puff Daddy too, so remember that. Now I'm not gonna sit here and try to break down what happened in each marriage. Who cares why they got divorced? It doesn't even matter. But the fact is she married all 4 of them. Now the first guy I'm not really gonna count because when you're young, you do stupid stuff. But she then went and married another dude. That didn't work. Then married another dude. That didn't work. Then married another dude and that didn't work. And she's sitting on this show blaming the guys. Not once did she say, I'm the one picking these guys to marry. Because she didn't have to marry them. She could just date them like she did Puff Daddy. But she thought enough of these men to marry them. But nothing was her fault. And on top of that, you got 4 marriages and a bunch of other relationships. None of them worked. So let's just say she's dated another 3 men on top of the men she married. So that's 7 guys that she was in a relationship with and it did not work out. 7 guys. But there's only 1 girl in this whole situation. But only the men are at fault. I want y'all to really think about that. Now, the men already understand. They're right there with me. But you women, I want y'all to think about that. She's been with 7 men, and I'm going low with the 7. She probably dated way more than 3 guys outside of her marriages. She's been with 7 men. Nothing has worked, but she is not at fault for anything. They did everything she asked of them. If they didn't, she probably wouldn't have married them. So they did all the stuff that she wanted, and nothing worked. But it is not her fault. She had nothing to do with it. She was just an innocent bystander just standing there, and a bunch of men just made a pit stop into her life, ruined it, it and then left. That's basically what she's saying. And then she did this thing that a lot of women love to do right at the end of the video, where they don't want to take accountability. They had nothing to do with anything, but they want to put a little bit on them. They don't want to dump everything on those men. They want to put like 99% of the men and just like 1% of themselves. So they say stuff like, I didn't love myself. So that's the only fault you had. This whole situation, you didn't love yourself. That's it. That's the only thing you did wrong. And then you women don't understand why we come online screaming that y'all not accountable. This is exactly what we're talking about. J-Lo had the game on Smash for the last 30 years, and she could not stay with any man. Same with Halle Berry and a lot of these other women, but they never blame themselves. They can get divorced 200 times. It is never their fault. Never. But us men are tripping. Fellas, we're just tripping. That's what's happening. It's not their fault. We are the problem. We're always the problem. And one more thing, didn't her and Ben Affleck get together and tried it one more time and then that failed again? Yeah, he looks happy. That is definitely the she get on my last nerve door slam. I've done it, and I know a bunch of other men out there have done it as well. But he did something. He did something to her. He did something wrong. Damn it, Ben, get it together. It had to be your fault. She just said you didn't love her. Why didn't you love her, Ben? Sure, you're an actor. You can go out there and get any girl you want, but you gave her another chance. But you didn't love her, Ben. That's the problem. You didn't love her. This is ridiculous.
You know what I miss about having a man in my life? And I'm not gonna just say a man because I can't vouch for all men, but having a black man in my life is like, black men be so cool, calm, and collected. You feel what I'm saying? Some people like to say they live very nonchalantly, but I'm gonna say I need that type of energy in my life. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you go to a black man with your issues, they always make it feel like it ain't that serious. They just make you feel so much at ease. Like, they like, Raven, you're working yourself up. You feel what I'm saying? They really help to bring that kind of balance to like a woman who gets like, I'm gonna say a woman like me who get real, You go to a black man with your problems, talk about therapy. Talk about therapy. They just make it feel like it's never that big of a problem. How do y'all do that? Like, that's a gift that a black man has. Like, I promise y'all, that is a gift to make it feel like the problem is not that serious. I was really like a superstar navigator in life having a black man next to me because he made me feel like what I was going through wasn't that big. And I love that for black men. So I still will reach out to a black man to get that balance in my life because we keep a man around.
This lady is telling the truth. Now, I do want to make one correction. To me, I don't believe this is a black man thing. I think this is a man thing. Men are just able to look at the situation differently from the woman. So I don't think this is just black men. I believe this is all men. But she is absolutely correct. Men bring that to a relationship. If you are a woman and things happen and it seems like it's the end of the world, if you have this type of man in your life, he's going to make it all seem a lot better. And the reason why I know this is because he is I and I am him. I am this exact dude. Anything that happens to me or around me, it isn't a big deal. Like the dude said on Hangover, did you die? Well, if you didn't, then we can work it out. We can work through it. That is literally how I function. And there are a bunch of other men out there just like that. But I do want to say this because this is very important. In most situations when a woman is bringing something to us, it really isn't a big deal. I mean, I'm just being honest. A lot of y'all just make a big deal out of nothing. I'm just being real with y'all right now. Y'all come in the house and y'all tell us a story about something and we're sitting there confused. We're like, what is the excitement about? And that's because we just look at things differently. We're always thinking about the solution and how to get past it. And a lot of y'all like to sit in that moment. So when you bring a problem to us, it isn't a big deal because we already came up with the solution in our head to whatever issue. So I do appreciate this young lady coming on here showing us love. She did kind of throw me off at the end when she said she just keeps a black man around. I mean, that's kind of weird. Instead of having multiple black men around, why don't you just get one black man and call it a day? But hey, who am I to tell you what to do? But that was a little odd. But overall, I appreciate what she had to say. Leave your thoughts in the video. Appreciate you watching. See you next time.